Stop being weak, not weak in body alone, but weak in decision, weak in discipline, weak in direction. Because weakness is not something you're born with, it's something you practice. Every time you delay what must be done, every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you say tomorrow instead of now, you rehearse weakness. And over time, it becomes your identity. But here's the truth, you don't need more time, you need more courage. You don't need a new opportunity, you need a stronger mindset. The world doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards action, decisive, consistent, relentless action. Now, becoming a monster doesn't mean becoming cruel or heartless. It means becoming unstoppable. It means developing a level of discipline so strong that excuses no longer have a place in your life. It means becoming so focused on your goals that distractions lose their power over you. You see, the average person waits to feel motivated, but the powerful individual acts regardless of how they feel. They understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. They don't ask, do I feel like doing this today? They say, this must be done and I will do it. Weakness loves comfort. It thrives in routines that require no effort. It whispers, take it easy, you deserve a break. But strength demands more. Strength says, push harder, go further, become better. If you want to transform your life, you must first transform your standards. Stop tolerating mediocrity. Stop accepting less than what you're capable of. Raise your expectations of yourself, because your life will always reflect the standards you set. A monster mindset is built daily. It's built when you wake up early, even when you don't want to. It's built when you keep your word to yourself. It's built when you do the hard things, especially when no one is watching. That's where character is formed not in comfort, but in challenge. You must learn to become your own motivator. Because there will be days when no one believes in you. Days when progress feels invisible. Days when quitting seems easier than continuing. And in those moments, the question is simple, will you give in? Or will you rise? Because success is not reserved for the most talented. It's earned by the most disciplined, by those who refuse to quit, by those who decide that no matter how hard it gets, they will keep moving forward. Don't wait for the perfect moment, it doesn't exist. Start where you are, use what you have, and build from there. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. But stopping, that's failure. The difference between who you are and who you want to become is what you do consistently. Not occasionally, not when it's convenient, but every single day. So make a decision, right here, right now. Decide that weakness is no longer an option. Decide that excuses have no place in your future. Decide that you will become disciplined, focused, and relentless. Because once you do, everything changes. Your habits change. Your results change, your life changes, and one day you'll look back and realize you didn't just improve. You transformed. You became someone who does what must be done, no matter what. That's what it means to become a monster. Weakness is not something we are born with. It is a habit we develop over time through small, repeated choices. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, procrastination over action, or excuses over responsibility, you reinforce a pattern of weakness in your life. It is easy to think of weakness as a temporary state, something that only affects you in difficult moments. But in reality, it becomes part of your identity if left unchecked. The good news is that just as weakness is learned, it can also be unlearned. Transformation begins with awareness, recognizing the areas where you settle for less than your potential, where you allow fear, doubt, or laziness to dictate your behavior. Once you identify these patterns, the next step is action. Discipline is the bridge between awareness and change. By consistently making decisions that challenge your comfort zone, even in small ways, you start to rewire your mind and habits. It could be waking up earlier than usual, dedicating focused time to personal growth, or refusing to give in to distractions. These seemingly small victories accumulate, slowly replacing the habits of weakness with those of strength. Over time, you begin to see yourself differently. You become someone who takes responsibility, someone who acts despite fear, someone who refuses to let circumstances define their limits. Weakness loses its power not through fleeting motivation, but through deliberate, repeated effort. Each day you choose action over passivity. You take one more step toward building resilience, confidence, and a mindset that refuses to accept mediocrity. In this way, weakness is not a permanent condition. It is a phase you outgrow by intentionally choosing strength in every moment. Personal transformation starts with a shift in standards. Too often, people accept mediocrity because it feels safe, because it requires less effort, or because they underestimate what they are truly capable of. The moment you raise your standards, everything changes. You stop settling for the minimum and start demanding more from yourself in every area of life, your habits, your choices, your work, and even your relationships. Higher standards create clarity. They define what is acceptable and what is not, and they guide your daily decisions in ways that align with your long-term goals. When you commit to these standards, you begin to reject excuses automatically. You stop justifying laziness, procrastination, or half-hearted effort because you know they are no longer compatible with the life you want to build. Transformation is not about luck or waiting for the perfect opportunity. It is about consistent, intentional choices that reflect your elevated standards. This might mean showing up every day to work on skills that feel uncomfortable, tackling challenges that push you beyond your limits, or being honest with yourself about the areas where you have been holding back. The process is gradual, but every small act of discipline reinforces your new identity. Over time, your actions and your mindset align, and your life begins to reflect the level of excellence you demand from yourself. In essence, raising your standards is the starting point for all growth. It is the framework that allows you to move from living passively to living intentionally, from being average to being exceptional. When you refuse to accept anything less than what you are capable of, you create the foundation for lasting personal transformation. Every choice, every habit, every moment becomes an opportunity to embody the person you are striving to become. Emotional control and self-discipline are the true cornerstones of lasting success. Motivation comes and goes. It fluctuates with your mood, your environment, and the challenges you face, but discipline is consistent. It is the inner force that keeps you moving forward, even when you feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. Without it, even the most talented or intelligent person can falter, because talent alone cannot carry you through the obstacles and setbacks that life inevitably brings. Developing emotional control means learning to respond to situations deliberately, rather than reacting impulsively. It means managing frustration, fear, and doubt so that they do not dictate your actions. When you face a difficult task, discipline allows you to act even when you don't feel like it. When others give up, it allows you to persevere. It requires practice building the ability to stay focused, to delay gratification, and to prioritize long-term results over short-term comfort. Self-discipline is not about punishing yourself. It is about creating a framework where your actions naturally align with your goals. It is about setting clear boundaries, forming productive habits, and committing to consistent effort, no matter how small. Over time, this combination of emotional control and discipline produces a mindset that is resilient, confident, and capable of handling any challenge. You stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver, steering with intention toward the outcomes you desire. In the end, people who master these skills achieve more not because they have more opportunities, but because they act reliably, consistently, and decisively. Emotional control and self-discipline transform potential into performance, dreams into reality, and weakness into unstoppable strength. Becoming unstoppable is not about luck, talent, or waiting for the perfect conditions. It is about commitment, consistency, and courage. It means choosing growth over comfort, action over hesitation, and responsibility over excuses every single day. Life will constantly test you with obstacles, distractions, and moments that make quitting seem easier than continuing. But those who become unstoppable learn to embrace these challenges instead of avoiding them. They see every setback as a lesson, every failure as a stepping stone, and every difficult moment as an opportunity to strengthen their character. To achieve this, you must develop a mindset that refuses to be swayed by temporary discomfort or fleeting emotions. You must train yourself to act regardless of fear, doubt, or fatigue, because results come from persistence, not from waiting for inspiration. Being unstoppable also means taking full ownership of your life. No more blaming circumstances, other people, or luck for where you are. You accept that your choices determine your future, and you commit to making the choices that lead to progress, even when they are hard. This path requires patience, because meaningful change and lasting success are built over time through consistent effort, discipline, and resilience. Each small victory compounds, shaping your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your destiny. Over time, you develop a level of focus and determination that others may call relentless, even monster-like, because nothing can derail you from your purpose. Being unstoppable is not a trait you were born with it. It is a skill you cultivate through daily action, unwavering commitment, and a refusal to settle for less than your best. In this way, your life becomes a reflection of your inner strength, your courage, and your relentless pursuit of excellence. In the end, the journey from weakness to unstoppable strength is a choice, a series of decisions made every day to rise above comfort, fear, and doubt. It is built through consistent action, disciplined habits, and an unshakable commitment to personal growth. By raising your standards, mastering your emotions, and embracing challenges as opportunities, you transform not just your abilities, but your identity. Weakness fades, excuses lose their power, and you step into a version of yourself that is focused, relentless, and resilient. Becoming a monster is not about intimidation or force. It is about becoming unstoppable in pursuit of your goals, unyielding in your efforts, and uncompromising in your standards. Every choice you make shapes this transformation, and every day you act with intention, you move closer to the life you are capable of creating. The path is not easy, but it is simple. Take responsibility, act decisively, and never settle. In doing so, you don't just improve, you evolve, and your potential becomes limitless.